Jumping back up here to the top right corner, I mentioned this inbox. If you're familiar with our training posts and training courses, then I want to spend a few minutes talking about the future of what that part of the platform looks like. Instead of just calling it training, we've now called this interactive content, or for organizations that are creating their own, it's custom content. And so what that means is, click on one that I've created. So I actually took that soundtrack series and I created my own custom content so that I could ask my own questions and add in my own flavor to it. So this is kind of a slide-based view of what our old training post and course platform looked like. So as I'm editing this, I have the ability to do things like create sections. So I created one called Chapter 1, got one called Chapter 2, and then each of these individual boxes that you're looking at are slides. So I can create a slide, I can reorder slides. My different slide types include Bible verses, documents, images, multiple choice questions. You can see all of the different options here. So I'm just going to touch on a couple of these. I think that jumping into a workshop with one of our consultants would allow you to really get in there and kind of learn how this part of the platform would work. But for example, here's editing a slide. And I'd already chosen a video, but I could choose a new one. I could come in here and search for soundtracks, select that, select session 3. And now that session 3 video exists right there inside of that slide. Or like you already may have seen, you can do YouTube, Vimeo, Facebook. So I can embed content that maybe I've created or helpful content that I've found. And I can embed that right there inside of the slide, put in my own text. I could add in some questions and even make those questions required. So we've really just tried to make this a very seamless experience for creating your own content, whether it's leadership development or whether it's training your employees or providing onboarding materials, really just ways for you to create content that you can put in front of your users and employees to make it even easier for them to utilize RightNow Media. A couple of quick details about this. I can come up here and I can edit title, description. I can make the content public within my organization, or I can keep it private, which means I have to assign it to individuals to get responses back. If it's public, they may find it on my custom library, and I can even choose to track all responses. So now, like you may have seen on my custom library, I had that team development channel. I put the soundtracks content in there. Anybody who finds it and clicks on it, I get to see their responses to that. So now when I go over to the responses tab, you can see here's all of the individual slides that I've created. And then I can start to see like Josh responded a couple of times to different questions that I had put inside of that content. And then I can also see my assignments. Who have I sent this to? When have they started it? When have they completed it? I can set a due date to make sure that they're going to complete it in a certain amount of time. And then eventually our organization is going to start sending automatic reminders. So if I set a due date of December 22nd, then we will actually kick out some emails that tell your individual members that you would like for them to complete this by December 22nd and give them a couple of reminders to do that. So then for a user, what they're going to see is very similar to our content details page. This is the soundtracks content that I created. You can see who it was created by. It's got a John Acuff video in it, so it's featuring John Acuff. But now they've got all of these individual slides, and they can click on those. And similar to our content viewer, they've got the title up here. They've got the ability to go back and go next. They can see a full outline of the content that's been created. And then as they get to the end, they'll have the ability to submit that as long as they've completed all of the required questions. This is available on web and iOS and Android. So you'll have the ability to create that content and easily make it accessible across all of those devices. And then we're working on the ability for that content to exist within your TV apps as well. So if they're sitting down, individually or with a couple, or maybe they're leading a group and they need to bring this up on a TV, they could do that on Roku, Apple TV, or Fire TV in the future, not currently. For now, they could do it on web, or they could cast their iPhone or Android to their TV. This was a lot to cover, and I know I'm just kind of scraping the surface here. But my hope is, as we kind of migrate into this RightNow Media 3.0 here later in November, early December, you'll be able to really understand how it's going to work with your organization. Like Kelsey said, there's a lot of stuff that we're migrating over for you. So that training post and course that you may have created in the past, it's going to become interactive content here in the future. as you guys migrate. So with that, I'm going to kick it back over to Kelsey, and I'm sure we'll have some questions that I can answer here in a little bit. Thanks.